All right, today we are reviewing how to generate equivalent fractions. Remember that an equivalent fraction is a fraction that has the same value, a different numerator, a different denominator, but the same value. Remember our steps to generating an equivalent fraction. First, you choose a number. Then you multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number. And then you write your fraction. So let's look at 1/3. This is page 115 in your little math book. So let's look at 1/3. So I'm going to generate two equivalent fractions. First, I'm going to choose a number. The number 2 has been chosen. Then I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So my equivalent fraction is 2/6. Now I'm going to choose another number. I choose 4. I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. My equivalent fraction is 4/12. So 1/3, 2/6, and 4/12 are all equivalent fractions. They have the same value. So let's look at 2/3. All right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a number. I'm going to choose 2. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So my equivalent fraction is 4/6. So I'm going to write that up here next to the 2/3. All right. Now I'm going to choose another number because I'm going to find another equivalent fraction. I'm going to choose the number 3. I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So my equivalent fraction is 6/9. So 2/3, 4/6, and 6/9 are all equivalent fractions. They all have the same value. All right, my next fraction is 1/2. Make it a little bit bigger for you. All right, think about step 1. What is step 1 to generate equivalent fractions? Step 1 is choose a number. I'm going to choose 2. I choose small numbers because they're generally easier to multiply, but I can choose any number I want to. Now I've chosen my number, and I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So my equivalent fraction is 2/4. 1/2 is equal to 2/4. All right. I'm going to find another equivalent fraction. Step 1, choose a number. This time I'm going to choose 5. I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. My equivalent fraction is 5/10. So 1/2, 2/4, and 5/10 are all equivalent fractions. I'm going to pause the video and I want you to do number 4 on your own. Remember to choose a number and then multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number. All right. Now for numbers 5 through 12, I have to tell whether the fractions are equivalent. Remember our shortcut where we cross multiply? So I'm going to multiply the 4 times the 3 and the 1 times the 12. A lot of people call this the butterfly method because it looks like a butterfly. So 12 times 1 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. If I get the same number when I multiply, then the fractions are equivalent. All right, let's do number 6. I'm going to multiply 5 times 5, and I'm going to multiply 4 times 10. Okay, 10 times 4 is 40. 5 times 5 is 25. Is 40 the same number as 25? It is not. So 4/5 is not equivalent to 5/10. All right. Let's do the next one. I'm going to multiply the 8 times 2. And I'm going to multiply 3 times 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 8 times 2 is 16. 18 and 16 are not the same number, so these two fractions are not equivalent. Right. I'm going to multiply 4 times 6, and I'm going to multiply 3 times 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 is the same as 24, so 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. All right, I'm going to multiply 6 times 10. And I'm going to multiply 12 times 5. 12 times 5 is 60. 6 times 10 is 60. 60 and 60 are the same number, so 5/6 is equal to or equivalent to 10/12. All right, I would like you to pause the video. And I would like you to do numbers 10, 11, and 12 on your own. All right, let's check our answers. Multiply 12 times 5. Multiply 8 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. 12 times 5 is 60. 48 is different than 60. So 6/12 is not equivalent to 5/8. 5 times 4. 10 times 2. 10 times 2 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 is the same as 20, so 2/5 is equal to 4/10. All right. Multiply 4 times 3. And 2 times 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. 24 is not the same as 12, so 2/4 is not equivalent to 3/12. All right, let's look at the word problems. John has a 12-ounce milkshake. 4 ounces in the milkshake are vanilla, and the rest is chocolate. What are 2 equivalent fractions that represent the fraction of the milkshake that is vanilla? Well, the whole milkshake is 12 ounces. So that is my denominator. It tells me that 4 ounces are vanilla. So the fraction that represents the vanilla in the milkshake is 4/12. If I want to generate 2 equivalent fractions, Step 1 is I'm going to choose a number. I'm going to choose 2. And I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number. 4 times 2 is 8. 12 times 2 is 24. So one equivalent fraction to 4 twelfths is 8 24. So I'm going to write my fractions down here. So I have 4 twelfths is equal to 8 24ths. All right. Now I'm going to start again with my 4 twelfths. I'm going to choose another number. This time I'm going to choose 3. I'm going to multiply my numerator and my denominator by that number. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So another equivalent fraction is 12 36. Kareem lives 4/10 of a mile from the mall. Write 2 equivalent fractions that show what fraction of a mile Kareem lives from the mall. All right, you're going to do this one on your own. Remember, to generate an equivalent fraction, you're going to choose a number, and you're going to multiply by that number. Multiply the numerator and the denominator by that number, and that will give you your equivalent fraction.